Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cosette's Gotta Talk About Disney. And oh, wait, I lied. This is the first episode. I filmed them out of order. Welcome to the first episode of Cosette's Gotta Talk About Disney, the vlog and podcast where I talk about all things Disney. I do the research, I do the digging, so you don't have to. We're gonna have a little bit of everything on here, reviews, experiences, food, opinions, all good stuff. So if you also love all things Disney, this is it. This is for you. But today, if you can, I'm so stupid. If you couldn't tell by my shirt, if you are watching on YouTube, that we were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind today. And if you're listening in, I am wearing a Guardians of the Galaxy shirt that you can get at Epcot at the store. I got it at the Connections store because for whatever reason, the Wonders of Xandar store wasn't open, even though it was opening day. This is not the opening day shirt. There was one, but that one was the rough, unisex cotton t-shirt material. And this is soft, thin cotton material. And it has vintage vibes. And on the back, there's planets that are where the Guardians went on tour. It's cute. It's a thing. But today, this is going to be no spoilers. I'm not even going to really review it, except right now I'm going to say the ride was mind-blowingly amazing. I actually did this research before the ride opened, so this is purely just information. That's it. I'd love to do a review, and we did go on it on opening day. It was really lucky. I had my trip planned already, Epcot day planned, and then they released that the ride was opening. So I'm very thankful to have experienced that. But yeah, so this is purely going to be informational, not a review. Just, what we know about the ride, the context, because they're really switching up Epcot. And that's really it. So here's what we know, especially because some people are trying to decide if they even want to go on it, especially if they struggle with motion sickness. So yeah, this is all information that I gathered before the ride opened. So here we go. All right, so Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is the newest thrill ride on Walt Disney World property, and it opened on May 27th, 2022. It opened in World Discovery, which is a new name that came from, what was Future World, in Walt Disney World's Epcot. And it was formerly, or the building that it is in now, was formerly the Universe of Energy building, which closed August 13th, 2017. So Disney describes this ride as you take off on an intergalactic chase through space and time with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's pretty cool. Now here's what we know about it. It's a dark thrill ride. You have to be 42 inches or 107 centimeters to ride, so there's a height requirement. It's described as a family thrill ride, so it's not going to be too crazy. It's for all the family. It is Disney's first ever reverse launch on a coaster. The ride vehicles rotate 360 degrees. It's one of the largest fully enclosed coasters in the world, which is cool. It is the first Disney Omni coaster, which combines the Omni Mover technology with roller coaster technology. So where is it? You enter from World Showcase. That's not right. That's not World Showcase. You enter from the main gates. Not World Showcase. I don't know what I was thinking when I was writing this. But if you enter from the main gates, you take a left, and it's between Spaceship Earth and Mission Space. So I don't even really feel like that was a good description, but basically when you go in, I rope dropped it on the first day, and they kind of corral everyone in between the Connections store and the Connections eatery. And you go there, go through, take a left. And that's right there. So it's in the same area as, like I said, Mission Space and Test Track. This ride is also the first Guardians of the Galaxy attraction in Walt Disney World. As we know, Guardians of the Galaxy took over the Tower of Terror in Disneyland, which is now Mission Breakout and not the Tower of Terror, which I think is lame, but they don't have as much space over there, so they can't just like build new stuff like we can. And it is a steel coaster manufactured by Vekoma. I don't know roller coaster manufacturers, but for you coaster geeks out there, that's the company who made it. All right, so it features an indoor reverse launch into space. Like I said, it has that 360-degree movement. It's not like you're spinning, freewheeling, but it is a controlled movement, and it does go in 360 degrees. Omni coaster, like I said, which the movements vehicle, like the movements of the ride vehicle, are specialized, and you move with the story. The turns were described as fast and energetic, but they do turn you to see different parts of the story as you're going along in the coaster. Now, the DFB reports that the thrill level is like a combo of Space Mountain and Rock and Roller Coaster. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's not nearly as intense in Rock and Roller Coaster, though, I will say, because I have been on it. I'm going to like cheat a little bit. I think I meant to say combo of Space Mountain and Thunder Mountain, because it is less intense than Rock and Roller Coaster. We're going to pretend that this is what I meant to say, and we're just going to ignore the fact that I totally blundered, but it's okay. We're living, we're learning. This is the first one. Even though it's the second one I film, this is the first one. Shh. Okay, so this is also the start of Epcot's new transformation. Woo! So this will become a part of the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion, Epcot's first Otherworld Showcase Pavilion. Isn't that cool? So here's the story according to Walt Disney on their website. So there's a tour of Galaxorium, a planetarium-like exhibit showing Xandar and Earth and their similarities, differences. You learn about Xandar and the accumulation of the tour. Things go awry. You must help the Guardians of the Galaxy team on an urgent mission, which is a exciting space pursuit, in quotes. And although they did say there was no Drax, but there was Drax, so I don't know. Facts are wrong. There was Drax on the ride. Anyways, all right. So how do you write it? Now this is as of right now. We're in 2022. Things change, and that's okay. But this is it for now, and it might change. And when it does, I will update you. But for now, this is how it is. So you can go on the virtual queue on MDE. There is no standby line. So you have to be on My Disney Experience, which is MDE, that you'll hear me refer to it as, at 7 o'clock in the morning. No one likes it, but you gotta do it. If you have Genie Plus, it's the time you're gonna be making your Genie Pluses anyway. So you're up anyway. Okay. So yeah, there's no standby at all. You can purchase a Lightning Lane if you wish, but they are subject to availability. And of course, the price varies depending on the day. You know, if it's like a weekend or a holiday or, you know, busy versus less busy, it's going to be more or less expensive. There are 4 seats in each Star Jumper. So if you have more than 4 people in your party, you're going to have to split up in different ride vehicles. You can do DAS Pass. I didn't use DAS Pass on it. I'm not totally sure how DAS Pass works, but I believe you still go through with the virtual queue, and then cast members will assist you in whatever you need to do there. If you're not familiar with the virtual queue system, that gives you like a boarding group. Excuse me, they did it on Rise of the Resistance, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and now Guardians of the Galaxy. They did also do it over in Disneyland. So essentially go on the app. I won't show it because this is a podcast and, you know, some of you are just going to be listening anyway. But you go on the My Disney Experience app and there's like a little, really it's just a pop-up. It's like one of the first things on the screen when you go on the app, and there's an option to click join virtual queue. I like to go in there at 6:55 and just start spamming the button. And I just don't stop. And then usually at like 6:59, I will like exit the app, get rid of it on my phone, close out of it completely, and then go back in and then start spamming the button. And I mean, knock on wood, we're going to hope there's one on this couch somewhere that I'm knocking on. I have been successful. I have gotten 3 boarding groups out of 3 for Res Resistance, all at 7 a.m. And the one Cosmic Rewind at 7 a.m. as well. So that's my technique. I can do a video on that if you'd like as well. I personally would go for the virtual queue first because lightning lanes are subject to availability and it does take a lot more time. You got to put your card money in. And I would just go for virtual queue first, personally. But that is just me. Now, here are some thoughts. In previews, everyone says it is so smooth, and I can confirm that it is. It's really smooth. If you have a hard time with jerky, rocky roller coasters, you're not going to have problems on this ride. It was like gliding. Ooh, like Slinky Dog Dash, if you bet on it. Very smooth, and you're just like, whoa, like it's crazy. It's more thrilling than Space Mountain, according to people who had written it in previews. And I would say that's true. I said I wasn't going to use my opinions, but here I am. I'm just breaking my own rules. So if you have like kiddos in your party, maybe beware. It might be a little too scary for them. You kind of want to see where they're at. But you do see a lot more than Space Mountain. You don't see the track, but you just in generally like see more. There's more light. So that might be helpful too. I feel like it's more of a dark thing and less of a thrill thing because Space Mountain is super like jerky and rough. And although this is more thrilling than Space Mountain, it's smooth and not as dark. And like I personally as a kid was afraid of the dark. So that's kind of what would do me in. But kind of know your kids and, other adults in your group. Motion sickness has been a really big issue. The DFB reporters had varied nausea responses. There were people who never got motion sick who got motion sick on the ride. And then there are people who always get motion sick and went on it and didn't get motion sick. My mother was one of those people. My mom always gets motion sick. She can go. She went on a Space Mountain last time and she was fine, but she can't do Rock and Roller Coaster and hasn't done Tower of Terror in years. But she did this ride and she was fine. I tend to get motion sick sometimes in simulator type environments like Star Tours. Some scenes in Remy kind of make me feel unwell. And the Millennium Falcon ride tend to make me not feel good. So I wear my motion sickness bands. I actually forgot them on this Epcot day because we were like rushing out the door because we were trying to get there at rope drop to see if they did anything special for the opening. And I forgot my motion sickness bands because I switched bags and I forgot them. And I was really nervous. I was really anxious that I was going to get sick. And there was one little bit at the beginning where they're kind of telling the story and stuff on the screen's moving, but you're not. That kind of made me feel a little queasy, but the rest of the ride, I was absolutely fine. So it's hit or miss. If you're worried about feeling motion sick, I would get motion sickness bands. I got mine at the AAA store, Lifesaver. You can also order them online. I think there's a company called C-Bands that makes them too. So, or if you need to take like anti-nausea medicine, just make sure you get ones that are not drowsy. So here are some other fun facts about the ride. There are 6 total songs that play on random. I'm not going to say what they are because I feel like that might be a spoiler, but if you want to know what they are, you can look it up. And they're like wicked good songs. Like it's fun. It's so fun. And they call it the Awesome Mix, of course. Tyler Bates, who is the Guardians of the Galaxy composer, actually made 2 hours worth of music for the ride and the pre-shows, according to Disney Wiki. Wiki? Did I say that? I don't know. And hopefully you won't be waiting in line that long, but if they bring it to stand by, that might happen. Thankfully, the line is all inside. and air conditioned. We certainly didn't wait 20 minutes, but it personally got me a little emotional hearing the music. Music makes me emotional. I'm just kind of a sucker. So you could really tell it was by the same composer. And there's a gift shop. It's called Treasures of Xandar. And it's like outside the ride, kind of tucked away a little bit. And they have all kinds of really cool merchandise. They had like a Peter Quill inspired leather jacket. It was fake leather, I assume. I really wanted it. I didn't get it because it was really expensive. I did buy this t-shirt instead, which is also really expensive, but what can you do? So yeah, what else do I have? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this ride, like so many things in Epcot and Walt Disney World after COVID. So it was supposed to open in 2021. And then it was pushed to May 27th, 2022. And then, they kind of made it a part of Epcot's 40th anniversary and Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary celebrations. Of course, COVID kind of threw everything for a loop. We still haven't seen Tron open. It has an opening date now. Remy took forever. So it is what it is, but it's open now. And I'm glad it is because it's awesome. But yeah, that is it for me on talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I hope this answers the questions that you might have if you're worried about it or want to know more about the ride. It was really exciting and really fun. And if you have the opportunity to go on, I absolutely do. It was life-changing a little bit, honestly. But yeah, that is it from me. If you have anything else that you want me to do a deep dive on, any other ideas, just, hit me down below in the comments of wherever you're watching this from, or hit me on social media. My is Gotta Taco About Disney. And I'm really excited to be making this podcast, and I love doing research on Disney and Disney history and Disney lore. So absolutely anything that you want me to research, I got you. And I love to talk about my personal experiences in the parks. Because I'm in the park so often, I can't just commit to a podcast because I love making vlogs in the park. It is so fun, and I hope other people enjoy them, and then it's just like a permanent memory of my trip. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.